Hey!
Oh, I'm so excited.
What is it?
Oh, excited, nervous. How have you been?
Oh yeah, good. How are you? Been a while, isn't it?
It has been a while. The last tattoo, though, it's doing well.
Oh yeah.
So, I'm thinking about getting you a new one. Yeah.
Oh
Let me show you. This?
Oh my god.
You think it's good?
I think this fits you really, really well.
Here.
Yes.
Okay. So, let's do it.
So let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Hello everyone, I'm David. Today I'm with my friend Omega.
Hi, everybody.
Today we are going to talk about tattoos.
Tattoos.
Hey Omega, you know, I have my discovery. I found a lot of Westerners, they were having Chinese character tattoo on their body.
Yes, that is increasingly common.
Why is that?
I think Chinese tattoos and characters, they're more so like hieroglyphics or pictures. So instead of getting flower or bird, English letters or pinyin, using Chinese characters is just more picturesque.
But, you know, something weird that I discovered, a lot of people, when they put tattooing on their bodies, it seems that they don't understand what it's about. So, for instance, let's take a look at this picture. This guy is a boxer. He's putting two Chinese characters here. This character means hand, and this character means wind. But you know, we have two characters together. This character, this word means arthritis. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that.
我的天哪！
I remember on Twitter this boxer when he was explaining why he got the tattoo he got, thinking, you know, wind and force.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
more so, you know, the pain of my punch and it's coming quickly like the wind. But unfortunately, it seems what he's conveying in Chinese, instead of the force of wind, it's a force of arthritis.
For the arthritis.
Much less threatening.
Yeah, and a healthy guy is marked as unhealthy. And he has to say goodbye to beer and lovely seafood.
All of those
I'm so
things.
sorry for that,
Wow.
just because of this.
So I imagine that Chinese people, when they see tattoos like that, especially as bold and big as that one, that they probably think, oh my gosh, why would you ever get that tattooed on your body?
Chinese people will say, oh gosh.
And so, have you seen any other examples of one similarly embarrassing or awkward to see, like that one?
And I would like to show everybody this picture. I guess he has a lot
yes,
of
Justin
fans.
Bieber.
Justin Bieber, yes. And take a look at these characters.
That's right. The character, not his chest. The character. So, yeah, many people, I remember when Justin Bieber first did this, and even with his expression, you see it's heartfelt. So something like, follow your heart, passion. Is that not what's conveyed to Chinese people when they see this?
Absolutely not. Let me tell you. This character, it means coward. Or in American slang word, you say somebody's like a chicken. Coward. Yeah.
Wow. So yet another case of where they're trying to convey a very meaningful and deep word, but it's similar to the arthritis.
Yeah.
He's now walking around saying, "Hey, I'm a coward following my heart."
Yes.
Oh no!
Well, if you want to express, you really want to follow your heart, in the Chinese version, we call that enlightenment or think. And in Chinese, it's 悟想. So those are the character and expression we are using.
That would better convey following one's heart.
Yes.
Interesting. See, all of these different meanings and the patterns, I can understand why people, especially if they don't speak Chinese, would get confused. Because I know for us, even learning Chinese for the first time, it's confusing when you go from one is just one horizontal line, two is two horizontal lines, three is three horizontal lines, and you're like, oh, Chinese is easy. And then you hit 4, completely different. 100 is different, 1,000, 10,000. So you think that the character is what it should be, but it seems that there's all this other meaning to it.
That's true. It's just like a saying, you cannot judge a Chinese character, you cannot tell its meaning just from its basic strokes. You know, easy?
Unfortunately.
Confusing?
Yes.
Well, let me tell you another one. So look at this lady. She's putting a Chinese character.
Oh, very fierce.
Yeah, chicken, or we translate it like a rooster or chicken. This character on her arm.
Well, I imagine, again, coming from a Western culture, I imagine that maybe it's for her Chinese zodiac. I also am a proud, feisty fighter of the people born during the chicken year. So maybe it's just to say, hey, I'm a part of the chicken zodiac.
Yeah, maybe for the other zodiacs, that's fine, but not this character for ladies, for women. Because
why not?
As you know, one word has its own meaning. On the other hand, it has its connotation. And the connotation of chicken in Chinese means prostitute. And if someone says this on some girl's arm, they will say, hey, miss, how much? So that causes a lot of confusion.
So is this something that you've learned through experience, David?
Oh, come on, I'm a gentleman. I've never done that. You are too far away from our topic. Now let's come back to the Chinese characters. So check this character, chicken noodle soup.
Oh, yes. Now, surely this one is harmless. Okay, chicken noodle soup, perhaps just to show deep devotion and like of chicken noodle soup.
Just think about that. You have the chicken noodle soup here, Kung Pao chicken here, steaming bread here, and the bacon ham here. When you go to the restaurant, when the waiter and waitress come to you, you say, check, this is what I want, this, even this. Easy.
Well, that would certainly make things a lot easier for those who don't speak Chinese in China.
来个小野鸡炖蘑菇，
没有，
这个可以有。
这个真没有。
Now, I realized in the US that tattoos are quite popular. Most people, even when they're 16 or 18, think about getting their first and then just keep on getting a few from there. But I realized in China, it's less common. Very few people have tattoos. Is that because traditionally tattoos are looked down upon or banned even?
Well, as you know, this in China could be dating back to almost 3,000 years ago.
3,000 years. Wow, okay. Yeah. So, bring me up to today.
Yeah, it's just like this. You know, the history in China is so long. We have the various dynasties. And in the period of the warring states, it's roughly about 465 to 221 BC. That's about 2,500 years ago. So if somebody committed like a crime, so the way the government did to punish this person is just to carve things on his face.
They would carve it?
Yeah, you can imagine how painful it is.
Wow. So that is the ancient method of tattooing?
Yes, and as a matter of fact, it's just like an insult to this particular guy.
Of course.
Yeah. Government just want this guy. Hey, you did something wrong,
forever remember it.
Yeah, you've got to remember this forever.
Oh wow.
So yeah. But in the Song Dynasty, as you know, for those guys, who commit crime, they will, instead of like using like a knife on the face, they will use like little needles. I mean,
okay.
It became a little like a humane, a little bit like a taken care of. They will use a little needles to make stitches on their like faces.
So more similar to what's done today.
Yeah.
But still on the face.
Still on the face. And well, you know, there's a very famous Chinese novel called like Water Margin, which just describes like hundreds of like kung fu guys, and they like rebellion. And a lot of these guys, they were having this type of tattoo on their faces.
As a mark of rebellion.
Rebel, yeah. Actually, they were like exiled to the remote places by the court.
Interesting. So
Yeah.
how then, I've seen a few of my Chinese friends have tattoos now. When did that change happen?
Well, actually, there was a very famous Chinese general called General Yue Fei. You probably,
yes. I think, is that so it's related to the mother-in-law tattoo? So the Yuemu.
It's like it's his mother who just
started the story.
Yes,
okay.
yes. And it's just like called undying service to your country. It's actually on his back.
Okay. Yes, because I believe the phrase was 4 characters, similar than a idiom of sorts.
Yeah.
What exactly was written?
Chinese version is 精忠报国.
Okay, so
undying service
to the
your
country.
Country, yes.
Well, that's fairly meaningful.
Yeah. I think in the old days, Chinese parents, they want to give their children, they say they carry their kind of like hope. And this is very much related to like loving your country, to stay royalty to your country, blah, blah, these type of things.
Okay, so from that story, then were tattoos more welcomed as a sign then of filial piety and devotion to country, devotion to family?
That's correct.
That's okay. Correct. How are tattoos viewed now? I mean, it's 2020, a new millennia now than 3,000 years after when they first started to be carved on the face. How are tattoos viewed now?
From my personal perspective, I know there are like some young women. They don't really do it on here or here. They do it on here.
So
like
okay, so more delicate.
More delicate, like a rose or something like that. And also some Chinese men, I mean, who are very muscular looking. They do a lot of like weightlifting. So I think some tattoo, they put it here.
In order to dance each time they lift a weight.
Yeah, so somebody can see that. But for me, personally speaking, I don't know. I mean, it's just like try or not to try, I don't know. But I just say I'm scared of like a pain like that on everybody.
Well, you know, as we say in English, no pain, no gain.
No pain, no gain. Depends on how good the game looks like.
Then it's worth the pain. About Chinese culture, and again, as I said, in the West we enjoy tattoos. So have you seen any Chinese character tattoos that are actually good, ones on people that have meaning?
Absolutely. The most well-known British soccer player, Mr. David
Beckham. Don't I know? Yeah, it looks like on his body he has a full sentence of Chinese characters. What is it?
生死有命，富贵在天. Life and death are determined by the fate, while the health and wealth are determined by people.
Oh, now that's quite wise. I think that hopefully there's no background meaning that can be lost in that. I think it's fairly meaningful.
It's just like once you were born poor or rich. It's kind of like all determined. But what you are supposed to do is just to keep walking always ahead and try your best to do whatever you can do.
Oh, and as a soccer player, having that tattooed on his body, now I can see all the more why.
Yes.
Okay, you know, another well-known player who is also, as we would say, eye candy for us in the U.S. is Allen Iverson.
Allen Iverson. Yes, I know him.
Allen Iverson, who has Thong, which in English, loyalty. Which in English, it's all good things. You know, loyalty being devoted and there. Is that also the meaning in Chinese when you all see it?
Yeah, I think when I see that, I will say he's so much like devoted to fight for his team, for the whole city, for the country, and also is stay loyal to his family, to children, and also the career that he loves. So this is a very, very good meaning.
Okay, so this one then gets the Chinese approval.
Yeah,
Good.
absolutely.
So now, let's say I wanted to get a tattoo. What characters would you recommend I get?
心止如水, which means tranquility, stillness as water. That describes a very peaceful and tranquil thing.
Okay, tranquil and still as water. Now, what if I was going more for a cool vibe, or like a, you know, 美女 or pretty girl tattoo?
For girls, for you. 婀娜多姿, graceful, charming, elegant.
Oh, no, that's nice. Yeah.
Let me do it for you.
You know, now talking to you, getting the history of tattoos and seeing ways that they were done incorrectly. Now having examples of ways that they can do well. A few things I've learned is before getting a tattoo, be sure to ask a Chinese friend what the meaning is and which ones would be best to actually tattoo, because just thinking of them on your own or even Googling, you may end up putting the chicken, having people come up to you inappropriately. So
vice versa, the Chinese, those who want to do your tattoo on your arm or or here or there, you've got to just consult a Westerner, especially the English-speaking people, just to avoid such, funny thing.
Exactly. So, I mean, tattoos bring a nice cultural exchange then. Perhaps the presidents of countries in the future could use tattoo as a nice conversation point to bring 中美关系, Chinese and U.S. relations a little closer together.
Yes, I can't agree with more.
So, before we end, I'm going to give you 3 tasks to do. First, go down and be sure to subscribe. Second, also click the bell at the bottom right of the page. And third, leave a comment about interesting tattoos you have seen, or perhaps if you're thinking about getting a Chinese character tattoo, you can ask us there in the comments as well. So until next time, again, I'm Omega.
I'm David.
See you next time.